Hello there, listeners. It's your favorite podcast about wargaming. James here
And Bart here. Hello, and welcome in the third episode.
Third episode, Christmas edition. It's time to, look back into 2025 and look into 2026.
Yeah, end of the year is just around the corner.
So what we'll do today, first, as usual, we'll speak about our hobbies, what is going on in our personal spaces in that matter. As well, we'll talk about 2026 New Year's resolutions.
Yep, and we have some quite big reveals in the world of PC gaming because new Total War Warhammer 40k is announced.
Yes, then we will talk about socks, hoodies with squigs and other festive elements from Warhammer. Who buys actually these?
So in one word, merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise. This is a part where we will ask ourselves why people actually buy these.
And then we will have our monthly Warhammer News Corner. So you will know what's going on in GW headquarters and what are our predictions for 2026.
And then we will talk about wargaming altogether, other news from the whole world of wargaming. So stay with us and let's jump into the first part.
Yep. Happy listening.
So let's jump for the first part, our hobbies. I have to admit that I did very, not so much this month because I'm a marketer here. So I'm working on the strategically stuff, on the marketing.
Yeah, it's been quite a busy time, especially
Yes.
for you and
yeah, we've got Black Friday, we've got Christmas time right now, holidays, and it's always like the end of the year is very productive for the marketeers. But I know you have something to tell about Bart.
Not as much as I wish to have. I did some things for my personal collection. First of all, I started assembling 2 big boxes for Legions Imperialis. It is some Mechanicum Battle Force and the newly released Saturnine box with Saturnine Terminators and heavy stuff for my army.
Warhammer Live, the last reviews, right?
Yeah.
They actually showed something and they released it was very quick.
It was pretty quick release. Including a book and a few new boxes. So I'm really happy to have them in my collection. Additionally, I received all my beloved new boxes for Necromunda. So I'm focusing mostly on assembling right now. Moreover, we started a small collaboration with a local gaming club, and we are making some intro gaming for new players to build a community here in our hometown. It is quite fun because, we are able, because we are a studio, we have a lot of terrains, we have a lot of painted models.
Mats as well.
So yeah, and game mats. So we are able to make really nice introduction games, like full, so painted terrains, painted models, game mats. It's cool from the visual side.
Okay, and from my perspective, it's also worth mentioning that probably, we are swimming in a big game. We are swimming in a huge world of news, of commissions. We are shipping worldwide, and it's good to be, anchored somewhere in the local community, not to lost the touch and the reality, what really matters actually.
And,
fun, yeah.
and of course, you know how it works. When you have a really tiny gaming group around you, it's really hard to set up the game.
Yes.
So actively building the people around the hobby allows me to play more games in more systems because it's not possible to collect everything. But it's always worth to try, by the way.
Own everything and understand every system which you actually have, right?
Yes, and having many players around you helps discover the new systems, to spread the joy. For example, we are able to play Star Wars Shatterpoint. It's one of my favorite war games right now because I have all the models and I can share all the models or all the units with other players. They can try it before they buy it. So it's quite cool.
Okay.
And what did you do in your free time during the December afternoons?
So yeah, I had like a quick trip to one of local natural reserves. I was reading still the Creek books because this is what I'm trying to
It's
go
never-ending
through.
story.
It is because like even there is a new one coming out. We'll talk about this later, but there is a new one coming out even, and the idea behind the book is again, in my opinion, astonishing and very very like interesting, but I won't, spoil the later contents of the podcast. Yes, I'm still reading. I'm trying to catch up with this. I'm trying to catch up with the army that I'm painting as well. But as I said, this month was hard actually to find any time for this. But related miniature stuff. I watched Stranger Things, the fifth season of the Stranger Things, 4 episodes. There is a quite narrative around the miniatures there.
A little bit.
Yeah, because they are playing D&D and they are actually have some painted minis in there. So I'm sitting there watching how they have painted minis, and I think like, okay, this is actually a nice paint job for I don't know, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. I don't know how are they old in like the new season. They're old. They started as a kids in the first season.
I just started watching the first season.
Yeah,
right
so
now,
everything is before you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't want to spoil you anything, but every season is a new miniature. Actually. So yeah, so you will see that.
Okay.
So you'll see that, but it's actually quite enjoying. I'm quite enjoying the series. I won't tell anything more because I will start rampaging spoilers everywhere. So let's make a comma here.
It's worth to mention when we are near the D&D topic that on Amazon we have 2 new TV shows. The first one is the second season of Fallout.
Fallout, yeah, and we've got miniatures for Fallout as well.
Yes, and the second one is the Mighty Nine. It is the second campaign of the Critical Role.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Okay, I haven't checked this one actually, so I will need to check because like I've got Amazon, but I haven't looked.
Are you familiar with the Critical Role?
No, I do believe not.
It is the most famous D&D group in the world.
Okay.
And Amazon bought the rights to their campaigns.
Hey.
And we have 2 right now. It is Vox Machina, and it is
I know
Mighty
Vox
Nine.
Machina. I know Vox Machina. I've seen this. It's on my like wish list to watch. I don't remember how it's called.
It's amazing.
Okay.
One of my favorite animations.
So people, if you want to, stop painting for a second and festive your eyes on something different than painting miniatures and watch some TV. So here are your recommendations for upcoming time, right?
Yep. And let's go to the second topic of our podcast.
The Total War is coming to 40K.
And it is big.
We are living in an absolute peak of, gaming on PC, on consoles, in the Warhammer like world, in my opinion, because like, let's face it, Warhammer 40K, the Total War, this is an announcement, that we were awaiting for quite some time, but looking back at 2025 and like some years before, even, we've got like a peak moment of PC and console gaming in that universe. Look,
it is definitely the best moment for the players ever.
Yeah.
In this universe.
Yeah, because like Dawn of War, like looking very very long time ago, I'm not quite familiar with games before Dawn of War. Actually, there were some, but not.
It was Fire Warrior.
It
was a shooter, Fire Warrior. We had some RTS strategies from classic Warhammer.
Okay.
And that was it.
Yeah. Let's point out then the Dawn of War, the first Dawn of War classic, was like the first mainstream game from Games Workshop, from 40K universe. And then after that, look, it's my experience that there was like kind of, there were some games, but they were kind of junky. Dawn of War 2. Okay,
it was great. Dawn of War 2 was great.
Okay, for me,
but Dawn of War 3, it was a disaster.
We don't talk about it here.
And we had Armageddon. It was turn-based strategy.
Okay,
Uh,
Mechanicum. There was,
Mechanicum,
but you know,
Inquisitor
Space Marine #1 was okay.
was
as,
okay.
Was okay as well, but
We had Chaos Gate. It was something like XCOM, but it wasn't too successful.
yeah, let's face it. Like the gaming was, there was something, but there wasn't anything like, you know, coming up to the heights of the.
There
of the
were
gaming.
no AAA titles.
Yes, and we are here now.
Yep. Space Marines
Marine
2.
Jesus, huge title, and you know, next to the upcoming Amazon series about Warhammer as well, and secret level episode, it's like the first thing that pushed Warhammer 40k into the mainstream, because even my friends that don't like Warhammer 40k like Space Marine 2 because
Yeah.
of the mechanics and the gameplay and stuff, right?
We have supermassive Warhammer Total War.
Oh yes, this was the one of the better games from.
Yeah, with tons of DLCs. That's true, but it is the way Creative Assembly is treating their games. But they are quite good.
They're quite good, and this is like when you have played Total Assembly games, you know what to expect actually when you're jumping into this. You know.
Yeah, another really good title. It's not AAA, but it's Rogue Trader.
I wanted to actually say this as well. The game is amazing, and if you want to get somehow close Baldur's Gate experience in 40k, it's Rogue Trader.
Okay, and did you know that yesterday or day before they started alpha for Dark Heresy?
You know that actually, that's
Yeah, I saw a few live streams on YouTube too.
okay. And how does it look?
It looks like Rogue Trader.
Okay, so that's actually good to say, because like Rogue Trader was really good.
I'm really curious of how they will develop this game, because from the first view perspective, it is just a copy of Rogue Trader in terms of mechanic, interface, and stuff like this. I hope that they will push the narrative side of the game even further. Maybe
it was good in Rogue Trader, but like it was not level of like Baldur's Gate 3 or other games.
Yes, of course. It was completely different level.
I mean, you know, the Rogue Trader is actually the first iteration of that system. Also the OCAD games introduced in the
kind of, because they have the Pathfinder games.
I didn't play that. So yeah,
Kingmaker and second one.
Yeah, but
I don't
you know,
remember the name.
Trying to create different system that D&D adapted to game playing, like on the PC, like many games did that before, and here like we are having a completely you know, different system where you need to actually, if you are used to D&D in RPG games on PC or consoles, you need to actually relearn some things in Rogue Trader.
I will say a lot.
A lot, yeah. I think what I wish to see, some like in Dark Heresy, they will like actually properly introduce those systems, because when I started playing Rogue Trader, this was my first meeting with this system.
It was a bit harsh.
Yeah, I needed tutorials on YouTube. Actually, I needed to check if actually my character screen.
I had the same feelings, because I don't have much time to learn and master character development system.
It's quite big there. If you slip in a moment and you need to reset your character, because you can do, it's a good thing. But trying to remember where you put points and how to develop your character to play well, to be as well okay-ish in the storyline, because it's a bad character if you're failing every test for the narrative stuff. Like, so yeah, like this is it. And that's why as well I haven't finished actually Rogue Trader, so that's why it went on the shelf for a moment.
And outside of the RPG Rogue Trader, we have announcement of Dawn of War 4.
Dawn of War 4.
And it will be the next year release, 2026, for sure.
Yeah, this will be big as well. Smaller scale than Total War, of course. Classic RTS. I hope they won't make this a MOBA game again. As
I'm quite sure that they won't make the same mistake again.
It's wishful thinking, but I would love to see something like Warcraft 3. you've got the hero, it's kind of overpowered, you've got additional units, and this would work greatly with the
I think that many players just want refreshed Dawn of War 1 experience.
in the not remastered, but created in a way as new games should be created. So yeah, that's true.
I just hope that they won't release it too close to Total War.
Oh, they won't. I think the Total War became
2027 for Total War?
Maybe not. Maybe the end of 2026.
Okay.
My prediction.
Because two strategy games
next to each other.
That's
the same system. Let's say the same system. 40K. Yeah, it would be stupid in a way. So I think even that then I think how they announced those games. Dawn of War was the first. Right now we've got the Total War. This will be the same as releasing. So I hope this will be the same as releasing. So how much time ago the Dawn of War was like announced? It was 3 months, 4 months.
A few months ago.
Probably
yes.
It will be the same, or maybe longer time period of time. When they will release. Let's hope so. But finishing with the game is Bolt Gun. I haven't played it. It's a daddy shooter. Let's say like this. Lots of enemies. When I'm looking at this, it's like pixel art Serious Sam.
And there is one more game. It's Dark Tide. It is the 40K version of Vermintide slasher.
And Vermintide was.
And it is quite cool.
Vermintide was a type of a game Left 4 Dead. If you haven't heard about Vermintide or Dark Tide, Left 4 Dead, but in those universes, there is quite grind in those games. In the Dark Tide, I haven't checked the Vermintide, but I played Dark Tide, and there is a lot of grind on playing the characters. Let's say like that. It's quite grindy. You need to grind the skills. You need to grind the equipment, and if you don't have a lot of time, to put into the game, you will have fun, but it won't be, the peak of what this game has to offer, right? So, and a lot of content will be blocked because you will fail to, progress. But the game is quite, good in visual looking. And let's say, if you're living in a basement and you only play games, it's a good way to spend time, probably. So
yeah, and let's focus for a little bit on the big titles. So Warhammer 40,000 Total War. The game will be released on completely new engine because Creative Assembly decided to create something which will work with the new version of the war.
I'm actually happy that it won Unreal Engine 5 actually as well.
Yes, that's true. In this game we will have a lot of shooting. We won't have classic regiments. The game designers has to invent new cover system, a lot of elevation, different units, and probably replace magic somehow.
With probably Psychers, I guess.
With probably Psychers, maybe with orbital bombardment, because on the trailers we saw a few massive weapons destroying the buildings and decimating the orcs.
Someone asked if there will be Exterminatus option, and there will be.
Developers also announced that we can expect something like the Living World, like in Helldivers 2, if you are familiar with.
Yeah.
There is a living storyline, the players fighting with the enemies. So we can expect live events, and that our battles really matters. Okay, it may be a false promise, but I really believe that after so many strategic games, they know how to make grand strategy like this, where when you win the battle, you have impact on the planet siege, for example. And when you, for example, win or conquer the planet, you have impact on the whole sector of the galaxy.
Imagine reliving again in this life system, right? Imagine reliving the Armageddon or the fall of Cadia.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be a different outcome from, if let's say you won everything as a community and the Cadia hasn't fallen, hasn't lost.
And our armies are depicted as fleets, so we will be able to fly through the galaxy, conquer the planets, stuff like this. I totally can't wait. If it would be good game, I will spend hundreds of hours.
And I cannot wait to they announced, I do believe, that the guard will be playable at the launch, so I cannot wait to throw my guardsmen into the orcs and
Yeah,
see
and
them slaughtered.
and customization. They announced that we will be able to really customize the look of
Yes,
our units.
this was in a trailer as well when they showed the same angle of recording with different Space Marine chapters. So yeah, that's a big thing.
I totally can't wait for the first full gameplay. I won't expect to see it in the next quarter or two, but I hope for late 2026, early 2027 for the release.
Yeah, and
I cross my fingers totally.
I played Total War games before, and I spent way too much time on the economic system, like the economic map. So I probably sink the hours if I will find those hours as well. But let's summarizing everything.
Sleep is for weak.
Okay, sleep is for weak. It's a good time to be a gamer.
Definitely.
It's a good time to be a gamer. At once the gamer as a wargamer and the gamer as a PC/console gamer.
But is it a good time to be a fan of candles?
I don't know. Let's try to find an answer for that. Candles, not only candles, but as well hoodies, socks, and festival miniatures.
Yeah, my favorite piece of merchandise are squig clippers.
I don't have particularly my favorite ones, but let's look in the topic like this, because the Christmas time, the holiday time, is when Warhammer actually releases this stuff. Merchandise.
I totally love how they approach the merchandise for 500 words.
How they 500 worlds?
I mean all this T-shirt with more ultramarines.
The campaign.
Yeah, the campaign.
The hate campaign. Okay,
yes.
So
it was brilliant.
If you don't know what that was, if you missed this window on Warhammer community about this, there was a short campaign where they released video where people are standing somewhere in Great Britain. I do believe it was near Games Workshop quarters, with people chanting with transparents and stuff, rioting, that we need more blue. We need more ultramarines. Why we are not getting enough ultramarines? I think if you are listening to this podcast, you are well known that the level of satire in this, right? So that was the and there was a merchandise, right? T-shirts and other stuff.
Hoodies, T-shirts.
I don't know if they are available actually right now.
I'm not sure.
It was a very short period of time where you could buy this.
It was clever.
Yeah, but it was clever. But thoughts on altogether Warhammer merchandise and other stuff. In my opinion, we are seeing the Warhammer entering this zone, right?
After so many years of totally nothing, finally we are able to buy
official merchandise. And it's so actually vast, and
and it is quite cool. I have a beer opener in the shape of Bolter. I have some plushies.
You've got the servitor skull above your desk, right? On your chair.
Exactly.
When you're sitting. I bought a beer opener for my brother as well, but in Necron shaped, like the lance or whatever it's called. We are using official Warhammer candles in our studio.
Yeah, in our office.
In our own office, right?
What's your favorite scent?
Astra Militarum is the greatest one, and
what's the worst?
Nurgle.
Nurgle.
It was. I
agree.
It was like an old man in 90s in Poland on a bazaar buying perfumes, something like that.
Yep.
It was they I don't know how Games Workshop or whoever did those candles made this. They totally nailed this scent of an old man in 90s Polish bazaar buying perfume.
Yeah. So when you have the Nurgle scent, you know how the Poland smells.
Is it good? I think is it good that we are getting some merch, because I found when I was on the shooting range, I saw one of the instructors has a Warhammer 40k shirt, and I came to him and asked him, "Oh, look at Warhammer 40k shirt. You are playing or you are, collecting something." And he said something like that. "Oh no, I don't know much about this, but I think it's cool." And we started talking. That I'm working in a painting studio, and I'm, both feet, both hands, and my head inside this hobby. Right now, this guy is, training directly me how to shoot, and we are good. Maybe not friends, but we are colleagues in range. So, seeing someone in a Warhammer 40k merchandise says you're in the same tribe, even if not, 100% committed or 50% committed, 25% committed, even 1% committed. The guy looking at
knows something.
He, you probably will get along, right? So this is the first thing. And the second thing is like speaking about miniatures, because this is for me like the most interesting thing and a huge question mark. Why actually there are coming like festive miniatures like the red gobos, right? Every year there is a new red gobo miniature.
It's a tradition.
It's a tradition, I know, but actually people buy this. We got commission for those, right? And why so? I think it's like a great place, to jump a little bit from the grim dark territory, and just to be fucking festive, right? Just to be freaking festive.
Yeah, and usually Christmas minis are quite cool.
Yeah, actually, the rocker. I love the rocker. This was not a Red Gobo before Red Gobo time, but there was an orc with a microphone. It was great, actually. And like the second one, I really, really enjoyed was a squig, the Red Gobo squig, one of the first ones from 2021, probably. I do believe.
Probably, I remember this model, but I'm not exactly
somewhere there. So yeah, Teen Boys this year's Teen Boys. It's not my personal favorite, but it's okay. And yeah, as I said, it's a great way. It's a great way to jump from the serious grim dark territory when the war never ends and everybody is dying, in a horrible way. And here is the teen boy with red gobo. It's smiling. Everybody's happy. It's a nice change of pace.
Let us know in the comments. Maybe finally we will have our first comment under our episode. What's your favorite piece of Warhammer merchandise, if you have any, or wish to have any? Now it's time for our another section of podcast, and it is Warhammer news from Games Workshop, our favorite source of all the models.
Yes, and actually, when you're looking into previous sections of Warhammer community and stuff, right now, it's very much slowed down.
I'm not surprised at all, because at the start of the December and end of the November, they showed and released
a lot.
So many models and sets and everything. And I'm quite sure that they have hard time anyway to deliver everything before the Christmas.
That was even like the first from like a long time Sunday previews, right? Where they showed actually nothing, because they said, yeah, we're showing nothing today. And they admitted it like because it's a Christmas time, and even if they will release something,
yes,
nobody probably will buy it. So that's understandable, right?
And December was rich, was juicy in the terms of the new models
that actually we received. We needed to limit ourselves with speaking about those and showing.
I spent too much anyway.
Yes. So it's good that it's slower a little bit down. It's giving us perspective, as I said in the beginning.
But to sum up, the biggest release of the December, it was Warhammer Quest Darkwater.
Yes, it was Warhammer Quest Darkwater.
I'm quite sure that so many of you will find this box under the Christmas tree.
I myself included, I do believe. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, 2026. To actually grab the Darkwater, assemble the minis, and
sending greetings to your wife.
Hello. And I will try to paint them, because this will be something extra different that I'm painting every day, like Astra Militarum, painting the something from 40k will be way different, painting Nurgle in a fantasy setting, right?
Yeah.
So,
And we were afraid. I remember in the
we were
previous
very,
episode or 2 episodes ago that
it will flop.
Yep.
It will flop like Cursed City, and like it shows right now that the Warhammer quest line is not cursed anymore, because at the time of recording there is like a week, half of a week and a half after the release, initial release, and it's still available to purchase. And the stock still lasts.
I'm not sure if it is so long after the release. Remember that we received this box a little bit earlier.
Maybe. Yeah, we actually benefits, of being commissioned painting studio, get some stuff earlier. But yeah, okay, let's say still, it wasn't 3 minutes.
Is it because the game is not good enough, or?
I don't think so. Like the first, even on our channels, I got a comment on YouTube when someone shared their thoughts on the first act. There are some quite worse moments, predictable moments, let's say, but overall the first act is very, very good.
I saw many comments that it is a good game, but it is not Warhammer Quest.
Okay, probably. I think they should, and they needed to switch some rules and go with the spirit of the time, let's say, like that, right? So the things that worked like in the Blackstone Fortress, let's say, or Cursed City, if you will copy the mechanics to today's mindset of a player, where you've got a lot of very, let's say, great mechanics in other games, right? You need to think something differently, because copying and pasting doesn't work like that. Like that. I don't think it would work, right? So they needed to come up with something new, and I'm glad actually they did, because if people are saying that they are enjoying the game, and that's a new way of creating Warhammer Quest games, I'm all ears. I want to see where it will go in the next iteration. Maybe we'll get an iteration for 40k. I will grab those probably if this Dark Water will be good, and if it will sell, if they will sell the game as well, and as we are probably seeing, how many boxes we got for commissions? 4, 3,
something like this.
Something like this for a board game. We're not getting for a board game so many like commissions anyway. Like it's a different a bit market, right? But we are getting Warhammer Quest commissions. We are seeing that people are there is a word about the game in the hobby community, right? So it's probably selling, maybe not like crazy, but it is selling. The people are getting those, and it's probably in the line which we were speaking about on the last podcast. Warhammer, if Games Workshop will see the potential, like they see in Old World, maybe they've seen in the smaller systems, if they will see that Warhammer Quest is a good place to invest some time and some energy and some money, of course, as well, maybe we'll see a Warhammer Quest expansion very quick.
Maybe it's worth to remember that probably if we have any expansions for Warhammer Quest, they are already developed many years ago.
So probably we'll see those, right? But I'm thinking about next Warhammer Quests as well. I don't remember when the last one was.
Quite a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe the window will close and we'll see in 2 years, let's say, next iteration of Warhammer Quest. It will be good. It will be good, because if this game will will be good, the next probably
I think
that
the GW is missing the opportunity to make a living game, like, for example, Kingdom Death Monster. So the Warhammer Quest is the core, and you have so many options to include all the miniatures from the Age of Sigmar range into the system.
Okay, so creating some data sheets for the miniatures,
for example, like data sheets or expansions, like, okay, this is an expansion full of cards, and you can use all the models from that Siege range.
Okay.
or from the
So
corn range.
so creating something like synergy between the systems, right?
Yes, because I think that fortunately it would be a one shot
Okay.
Dark Water,
Probably.
one shot,
And that's
two,
all.
maybe 3x small expansions, and I dream about something like Kingdom Death Monster for Warhammer models.
Mhm.
So you have one big, very advanced core of the game, of the board game, actually, not the war game, the board game, where you can use all the models around.
Imagine getting your all heroes from 40k painted to
Yeah.
sky, and getting those into the narrative system,
Yeah.
like a dungeon crawler, to play like in the 40k. Great idea, in my opinion. And yeah, really missed opportunity, especially if you've got so much systems
Yes.
and you could create like some bridges between them. Of course, I'm not saying about using 40k miniatures in iOS. No, but yeah.
Speaking of so many systems, we have Legions Imperialis and Necromunda new books already released.
Yes, this came out, and you touched the topic a little bit during your hobby part. Yes, everything from Warhammer Live is planned for 2026 somewhere, especially and probably with the 500 Worlds campaign, right? But Necromunda and Legions Imperialis got their assets in 2025.
Yes. And I think that it is the last book of this edition of Necromunda. It is my bet.
So this is final. Like this is
yes,
the end game.
It is my bet that in 2026 we will see a soft reboot or new edition of Necromunda.
Did you get the book?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, because I wanted to ask how it actually ends. If there is something, like a place hanger or whatever, right? So if there is any hint for that, prediction for 2026, if that's true, probably it is, because this guy,
It's a new ruler of Necromunda.
I will freak up his name.
It is a new chapter in the history of the planet. So, and it's been a long time since the last edition.
Okay.
And for specialist games like Blood Bowl, we received the new edition of Blood Bowl recently.
First edition.
And for Necromunda, it is something like 6-7 years
for refreshment
between the editions.
Okay.
For the main games, it is like 3-4 years. Okay. And for specialized games, it's 6. So 2026 seems for me like possible. A good year to the Necromunda.
Huge possibility. About the possibilities, still you can grab the 2 miniatures that will for a limited time only. Again, for a limited time. Again, I mean here about the voted miniatures from Age of Sigmar.
I'm not surprised by the Age of Sigmar model. It's fucking cool. This knight with the bird helmet, lovely.
In my opinion, I was missing something more from like 40k. The Groot.
The Groot, yeah.
The Groot is like I wasn't expecting this model to be a winner of the vote for the last miniature of the year. But yeah, they are returning. You can buy all those models, those 2 models, on December 26th in the shops, I do believe, or till the shops. Stores on December. Yeah. Arch Knight will hit Warhammer stores on December 26th, so they will be there for limited time. And for the online, they will be available till January 17th. So there is a window. It's not big, but it's a small window. If you want to grab those, there is your chance. The last thing, probably, from this new section is like the winter reads. We are getting 2 new books, and I'm thinking
the mic is yours because I didn't hear about it. So
like new books. One is about word bearers. And this is not like my niche, so yeah, this is the fact that there will be a book about word bearers. But again, I don't know why Games Workshop is doing this. I'm happy that they're doing this, but they are really pumping into the Death Corps of Krieg. and this is like we've got a release at the beginning of the year of the army set and stuff. They are again releasing Combat Patrol. Natural move actually, right? So because like you've got the Astra Militarum Combat Patrol with Cadians, you've got the second regiment with the Death Corps of Creek. My prediction for 2020 is that they will release for Astra Militarum Jungle Fighters, Katachans. This is my thinking of
That's interesting.
look, the
I
Cadians.
hope that we will see at least one core infantry box for each famous regiment.
Okay.
So Mordian,
This will be cool. This will be cool as heck.
Vostroyan, Armageddon Steel Legion.
Yeah, like I think maybe not possible, but for some, of course. But I think like the Katachan Jungle Fighters are in the new codex. Looking at the 11th edition somewhere close by, I think it's not a huge deal, to include the old models in the codex, but they hasn't been, they hasn't been executed from the codex, right? So they're still there, and that brings a little bit hope that we'll see a new models for those, because those are the oldest models next to the tanks, but the tanks are actually quite good, right?
Yeah, and speaking of our predictions for 2026, I have to remind the Battlefleet Gothic game. It is a space war in Warhammer 40k universe.
Okay.
This game is retired right now.
Okay.
But I have feeling in my guts that we will see some spaceships in the coming months.
Yeah, we were speaking about this in the last podcast that we will probably, because like the niche is completely empty, right? Or maybe not completely, but mostly empty. So, the physics hate the empty spaces. So yes.
My another prediction is Space Hulk as a big box game for the next Christmas time.
So next to the Warhammer Quest Dark Water,
yes, exactly.
Space Hulk.
Space Hulk.
I would really love to see that, especially I haven't played or even touched the original one. It was quite...
It's been more than 10 years since the last edition of the Space Hulk. So
and it's one of those games with longest history, right? So because like first iteration of Space Hulk was like in the prehistoric ages of Warhammer.
Of Warhammer and Wargaming.
Yeah.
That's true. And I bet that we will see the new juicy box in November or December 26, full of models for amazing Gen Stealers and Terminators. And my last prediction for the next year is the Warcry Resurrection. This game is a bit forgotten by the GW.
It is, but I think, in my opinion, I will counter-argument this. It will slowly evaporate. I do believe they gave something for Warcry 2025.
I'm not sure.
There was something.
I think yes, but the game did not receive any significant support.
Yes, like I do believe they showed something.
And that's sad because I heard a lot of good words about this system.
Oh wait, it was about Underworlds. Underworlds received some stuff, like for instance, like we gave you something. You then forget about the system. But yeah, for Warcry, seriously, there wasn't anything in this. Yeah.
And do you have any other predictions for the next year?
Oh, for me, it's 11th edition, of course. It's 11th edition, of course. You've got 500 words and stuff, and I just can't wait to see it unfolding in our eyes, right? So probably at the beginning of the year we'll see those 500 words, and next to the not reveal, but releasing the stuff to the public, we'll see probably next moves. So 11th edition is coming, and I am all hands and feet and head in this element. I do believe there will be. That's why I was speaking about the Death Corps of Creek. I'm thinking, like, it's my wishful thinking because I'm a Master Militarum collector, but they are releasing so many books in Death Corps of Creek, like stuff. I think even if it won't be a major role, right? Because the Guardsmen and Astra Militarum wasn't even close to be like main hero of the saga of the 40k, right? But they will play a role somewhere. And knowing the Death Corps of Creek, fighting with orcs, fighting with Tyranids, They are very specialist group, sent on the something like Space Marines actually sent on the worst case scenarios because they will be slaughtered and they will be happy about it, right? That's how it works. New book. I started speaking about new book. New book is about Astra Militarum Commissar. With a group of Death Riders, and the main storyline is like he tries to encourage his soldiers not to die. I'm thinking it won't be a comedy book, but it will have some elements like very grim dark humor because commissars in other regiments are standing something like a Soviet soldier standing behind the soldiers fighting, and if they are retreating, he is shooting in the backs, right? In Death Corps of Creek regiments, they are trying to tell them, do not die for nothing, because they are so happy to put their lives for the emperor, and the book will be about it. But nonetheless, getting back to the predictions, 2026, I would really love to see other chapter as characters. I don't know if it's possible.
It's not possible.
I don't know if it's possible, but
it's not possible.
Blueberries will be blueberries, but this is my wishful thinking, and wishful thinking is like the guard will be.
I think we might see Blood Ravens.
Okay.
I think we might see a few heroes, maybe. Probably another lieutenant.
Okay, but we're speaking about as well Primarchs, so Vulcan, maybe Russ. So who knows?
Who knows? Maybe at the end of 500 words, we will see a significant event in the 40k universe, and it might be another Primarch.
Because I don't believe that reconquering those 500 worlds will go swiftly as you think it will go, right? So we've got this Necron stuff, but I don't believe.
We need a balance, because the Chaos has a lot of Primarchs right now, and the Empire has only
every house legion has a Primarch
right now. Yes,
like remaining legions, because bearers are non-existent, right? So yeah, that's it. And there is a lot of going on.
And we would love to know what are your predictions for the 2026.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
we will be super grateful, and be sure that we are checking the comment section.
Oh yeah, I'm actually, whenever there is a comment anywhere, I'm answering to it. So yeah, so leave your comments below, and we'll be happy to answer it. So let's move to the last section.
We are going slowly toward the ends of our episode, and we have a few more interesting news to share with you.
We are leaving the Warhammer stuff to the other wargaming systems, and the first topic is Malediction. It's a new war game about connecting the two separate groups of games. And I don't mean...
it is a cards-driven war game.
Yes, so war game and Magic the Gathering. Something like that.
Something like that.
So, but it actually addresses the great problem of Magic the Gathering, in my opinion, personally. Because if you don't know... Okay, I didn't say anything. You should know. I played a Magic the Gathering when I was younger. And this was the thing that why I stopped playing. Because, the chase of the card. The chase of the cards, you need to buy those starters, buy the decks. There is an update coming.
Yeah.
You need to check the update.
And it is not the topic in Malediction, because there is no trading.
Yes, no trading, because when you are buying a miniature, or you are buying an STL to that miniature, because this is the stuff they are releasing, the STLs.
Technically, it is when you buy a deck.
Yes,
you receive the STLs.
Yeah, this is the way. So the deck is coming with the STLs, and it's a closed group of these.
Yeah. And in studio, we are actually really interested in this game. We even started some negotiations with the Loot Studios, and soon you will find starters and models for this game in our new web store, because hint, if you don't know or you don't remember, we started our own web store.
Yes.
Full of painted models, full of painted bases. So you can visit it anytime, and soon you will be able to buy Malediction starters for web store too.
Yeah, that's great, because like we print 3D stuff a lot for ourselves, and not only for ourselves. So yeah, even right now where we are recording, I see some D&D miniatures painted, not only painted but printed in our studio. So this is it. So if you are listening to this and you're thinking, oh, cool idea, remember to check our web store, because this is probably the first place where you can see it next to the like official Malediction website or whatever. The gameplay uses normal D20 system, but really relies heavily on the summon units and cast spells. So if you played Magic the Gathering, you're probably familiar how does it works. You're getting mana in a certain way to summon the miniature to your tabletop, and this miniature just starts playing on the table itself. It's not working like in the Magic that you have to swipe a card to attack, but the summoning is the part where the Magic the Gathering system comes in, but the part where you actually fight is more from a wargaming world. So this is how it supposedly will look and will play. And for me, it's very like a good way. This is good, to see some innovation in the wargaming and trying, to find new ways, new rules, to create something original and fun to play, especially.
Yeah, for sure we'll get back to the Malediction topic. Who knows, maybe we'll record a separate episode about this game when we will have more games on our account, because for sure we will try. Yeah, James?
Yes, more info about Malediction soon, basically, right now, because
and another topic is the Trench Crusade.
Oh, this is coming back again, and why it's coming back again? Because
I received my physical rulebook from the campaign finally.
Yes, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it is quite cool.
It's cool, yeah.
I'm just a bit afraid that it's obsolete right now, because I saw that a few FAQs and updates are online, but it's still a cool piece of lore.
It's how it works in other system as well. You get physical book, you got erratas, and your bookies are like non-existent anymore.
But what's more important is that Archon Studio revealed 3 next boxes.
Yeah, Sniper
in plastic.
Priest, mostly for the Prussian army, which is a new army, which is coming to Trench Crusade, or maybe it has come. I haven't checked, but Prussian I'm sorry for German listeners. Stoßtruppen and Yeomen. Stoßtruppen and Yeomen, whatever that is. New minis. Some of them are really shown on the box art. Some of them are like darked out, but they were like shown. So like this, that it will be like Prussian snipers haven't. Sniper Priest haven't been shown, but we've seen the silhouette of the minis. So yeah. So this is it. So in one word, Trench Crusade is evolving. It's evolving from STL to boxed plastic, and it's evolving, to be big.
I wish to see 2-player starter set.
Okay, I don't think it will come to that, because you couldn't actually buy like this miniatures on the STL store. I think they will go in a way like Warhammer. So, buy a separate army, your friend buys separate army, and you clash. I know there is a lot of, tabletop simulators, servers where you can play Trench Crusade as well. So people are finding themselves. It's for me, as again, we'll probably repeat ourselves, but it's incredible how the system went from nothing to what it is right now. To something, to what it is right now. You're starting as a STL seller, and you're like 2 years later, you're selling the boxed miniatures, and that's astonishing. In plastic, not in resin. In plastic.
And so many old publishers are still buried deep in resin or metal casting,
and printing in the basement something. So yeah, great. Fingers crossed for Trench Crusade. Very grimdark and stuff. Some people say that it will be a bigger even more. So fingers. Again, the next war game, which also is gaining popularity after a little bit
Resurrection.
Resurrection. This is a good way to name this. Use War Machine. I'm losing account. I recently downloaded the app for War Machine because I wanted to find some models that we've painted.
Mhm.
Oh my god, there is so much minis.
Yes.
There is so much minis, and I needed to dig deeply to find the miniatures that we are painting because there is actually a vast of miniatures there. They are some more like competitive for playing, right? So the armies are not so big like in Warhammer, but smaller groups and stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm looking at the size of our army we are painting right now, and it's competitive playing army, card army.
This army we are painting right now, it is everything from the range of the army.
From the range of the army, right? Yeah. So you're not fielding everything, right? So
No, War Machine is a skirmish game. So
yes.
I think up to 10, 20 models per side.
So, but for this, say for the Cardor army and mercenaries, because I do believe we painted mercenaries as well, a lot of minis, and this is only one part of the even not full Cardor force, right? Because the Cardor is separate, has a separate Umbre, old Umbre. No, I'm
something like this.
something
I'm
like
not
this.
familiar with the lore.
Yes, I strictly as well. I'm not like remember everything correct. So if you are listening and I'm speaking some bullcrap, just please reconsider to tell it to stop, comment that you're speaking shit. But and new models are coming and pouring and pouring. This month, two armies got their recent updates again. So it's going to be like not MOBA directly, but where you really can build your meta style of game, meta squad to play competitively, because they are not creating the same models with the same rule sets, right? There is like in the Star Wars Shatterpoint, the rule set is so like limited that you are still trying to find new ways to play. War Machine gives you a lot more spectrum, as I've seen on those miniatures and on those rule sets, and that's why you have a lot of way to interpret the game. So
I cross my fingers for the for the Steamforge. I see that they have a lot of steam already, and I wish them all the best with the War Machine development, because this system, the legacy of this system, deserved a good publisher.
And right now, it looks like they're resurrecting the old models into the resin still. But Southern Creel's Kivgard command starter is on the way. So if you want to touch a little bit of the history of
it is for the Trollbloods faction.
Yes, Trollbloods. So the faction that was I do believe existent before the.
They are if I remember, they are heavy inspired by Scottish.
Okay. It might be.
Culture.
I've seen those, and like this is a good way to start and touch a little bit of the War Machine history, because they are based on.
I wish to paint this system more, because models are
we
super
have
cool.
right now army. But
yeah, we have two armies right now.
Armies, okay.
Kriegs and Kador.
Okay.
But I wish to see more.
They are very, very as well nice to paint. And
yeah, they are quite nice to paint.
We've got already mercenaries on our gallery on our website. So if you head down and type War Machine in our gallery, you will see those 4 mercenaries painted to the display, I do believe, level. They are very, very, display level, 100% display level. Right now, I'm remembering the images. Great miniatures and great to paint as well. Moving on, about the resurrecting stuff as well. Star Wars Legion.
They receive even more repacks for the Legion 2.0.
Yes, and on the February 13 in 2026, you'll be able to grab T-47 Airspeeder, so the Airspeeder from the Hoth Battle. Clone Wars era will get Clone Commandos, tanks as well. I do believe for the Separatists and the 4th Clone Army, for the Republic Army, and Magna Guards are coming back as well. Not on the bikes, but as a separate models.
Right now, we are working on 2 starter sets for the Legion in our studio. And I'm so happy to finally see all the models in hard plastic. It is a game changer for everything. it's no longer the PVC. So now the details are sharp. We have a few options to assemble.
like
It's
the
brilliant.
plastic. Yes, yes. I've seen those on the assemble stage where they will.
However,
introduce-
I doubt that the Legion will shine again
like
at
like
the
it
start.
was. We will see. Right now, they are doing everything to incorporate the game to the new audiences with the starter set. Let's say like that. We spoke about this as well, and like, I think this is where we should speak like
The more Star Wars games, the better.
yes, but the time will tell.
Yes.
I think this is the good way to end this part. And folks, that will be everything for today.
Yeah, thank you for being with us for so long. And we are already thinking about the 4th episode of our podcast.
And not only for episode, because we want to do some more
Yeah,
stuff.
if you are listening us YouTube, remember that we are right now at other platforms like
As well.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, because we are trying to expand
Yes.
our range. We really wish to see a comment or two.
And if you are here from the newsletter,
Yes,
if you are here from the newsletter, because we know some people in the newsletter of this podcast, please try to reply to our email. I will know for 100% sure that you have listened the whole podcast, and I will be very grateful for you if you will be able to reply to the initial email that you received as a newsletter. Okay, that will give us some insight where from you guys found out about our podcast. So this is it.
yeah,
And that's it.
that's it.
That's
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you so much. It was James for you,
And it was Bart.
and
means for-
see you people next month. Happy holidays, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.